How's it going, everyone? This is Shockwave48 here. Welcome back to another video. Today, the heroes have finally successfully defeated the greatest villain of all time. It is all thanks to the point of a good hero, the greatest hero who ever lived, Deku, has managed to take out All For One and Shigaraki at the same time. Everyone's gone. The heroes are saved once again, and they saved the day. Now we get to the point where the heroes can rest up, but a little bit slight injuries complicated going on here, so they're gonna have time to settle down and heal for a moment. But right now, people are saying that this might be the final chapter, which I don't believe because there are still more chapters to begin with to the point where they have to be pro heroes. So I wouldn't recommend, saying it's a fun day while it lasted part thing. But there's got to be more to it because there are more chapters on the way, and I can't wait. So without further ado, guys, let's check out this chapter. Let's see what's going on because I'm really pumped up for this.
Alright, so we got the 424 spoilers, and this chapter could be considered like the final, or at first glance, I guess, because at the end, it's showing us Izuku in seemingly a time skip, along with Ida and Kaminari walking in school uniform towards UA. And the title of the chapter is Epilogue, which, typically means like the ending of something, or kind of getting there, I guess. But apparently this is not the final chapter of the series, because I guess it says that there will be another chapter next week. Like, there's no break, and I guess it's going to continue in the next issue. So that might be the last chapter. I don't know. I just wish Horikoshi would make like an announcement, or they would show us something in Jump, like maybe an editor's note saying, hey, the next chapter is the final of the series. Like, don't they typically do that? So until we get that, maybe we have 2 chapters left, 1 or 2 chapters at the most, it seems like. But anyway, let's get into it. So the chapter begins a few days after the battle in Washington, and Meryl says that the weather has cleared up and apologizes for getting the weather forecast wrong. She also recommends that people take care when washing their clothes because the wind is still strong. So yeah, like it said, this is a few days after the battle, which means that like what we saw in the previous chapter with Izuku punching away All For One and then eventually just having Shigaraki's body like dissolve, that was the ending of that. Like, the war is over, and we're just cutting forward to a news report here. The wind was generated by Deku's punch and was what ended the war. We see Cementos and Salam rebuilding a building and 2 children excited because they will be able to live there again. The foreign heroes arrived in Japan very quickly and helped rebuild the country. So that's what we were speculating about, because it was like 2 chapters ago. It said that the president was sending the American heroes to Japan to help out, and considering that like Izuku was delivering his last attack when that was happening, I assumed that they would have to just come and help with the rebuilding and recovery and all that stuff. We see Big Red Dot giving an interview, a hero using his quirk to project the layout of a building, and Setsuna helping a pro hero. The reporter says that before quirks appeared, a reconstruction on this scale would have taken more than 10 years. Oh, and Koichi is flying, by the way. He's in a single panel. So I guess that's as far as it goes with the American heroes coming over and just the other international heroes as well. We talked about Koichi possibly showing up along with Captain Celebrity, but man, I didn't expect it to just be one panel of Koichi. Like, Horikoshi could have gone a little further with that, considering that he literally comes from like the spin-off series of this series that he, greenlit, of course, and probably had some creative input in it, but still, at least have him talk to somebody. The doctor at the Central Hospital says that Bakugo's arm won't go back to normal, and surgeries helped keep its shape, but he doesn't even know if rehab will help. If he wants to keep being a hero, the best thing to do would be put a robotic lens on him like Mirko's. Bakugo says that he won't do that because his quirk comes from the sweat of his hands. Besides, Deku has no quirk at all now. He says that he's going to work hard in rehab, but the doctor tells him to just do light exercises because he's worried about Bakugo's heart. If it hadn't been for Ed's shot, he would have died. The doctor doesn't understand how he kept fighting and traveled dozens of kilometers in those conditions, but he should rest now. It cuts to another hospital room, and Deku can't believe that he's in the same one as All Might. So Bakugo's here. We saw him help Izuku in the previous chapter deliver the final punch against All For One / Shigaraki here. He like leapt out of his hospital room with the support of Shoto. Hey, but real quick, guys, you should check out Gamer Supps in case you haven't already. They're a great energy supplement that can help you with gaming, studying, or anything that really you want to do. They come in caffeine and caffeine free, and they also have nootropics in it like L-theanine, L-tyrosine, and choline L-bitartrate. So it's not just, you know, regular caffeine. It makes you really feel good and focused. And also, you're going to want to pair it with the new Gamer Supps flavor, strawberries and cream. This also has a pretty aesthetic design to it, and the taste is pretty straightforward. It's strawberries and cream, which tastes great, and if you like that flavor profile, you're gonna absolutely love this. They also have these awesome sus bars, which are only 100 calories and only has 1 gram of sugar and 8 grams of protein. My favorite flavor is the chocolate. I cannot get enough of these things. They also have gamer tea in both caffeinated and non-caffeinated. I personally really like the caffeine-free sleepy time with theanine. You can also get some of these awesome gamer soups, which I absolutely love. So guys, check the link in the description and make sure to use code BIGZ for 10% off. Thanks, guys. So it's possible that he might not be able to use his arms. I don't think that's going to be the case. He'll probably recover, as he is saying here, on his own merit. But as for Edgeshot, you know, we saw the big iconic sequence where he becomes Bakugo's heart after it was pierced. But Edgeshot, like, survived that somehow, despite him saying that it was going to kill him. So it's like, where is Edgeshot now? Is he still like that little tiny stringy version of himself, or is he like recovered, or what's going on with him? That would be pretty weird if we don't get an update on what's going on with him. All Might said that this must be Suguchi's doing. Deku says that he can feel his arms again, but he's still upset that he couldn't save Tenko's life. Even though the hatred in his heart vanished, he refused to stop being the leader of the League until the end. All Might asks how Shigaraki's face was at the very end, and Deku remembers the end of their talk. You've already destroyed it. That'll all depend on what you guys do from now on. Good luck. All Might says that if Deku no longer saw the crying boy, then his heart was saved. So I'll go more into this sequence in my full review of the chapter. Then I can really get my thoughts out on this. But for now, it just seems like a big cop-out for the whole Tenko storyline, kind of. I'm not saying that Izuku had to save him, you know, in the most literal sense, but if they're just going to say that Tenko wasn't able to be saved, or he was kind of a casualty in all of this, then you could just say that he was a casualty. Like, you could still have Izuku be like the big triumphant hero, but it doesn't mean that he has to have like a 100% success rate, especially since he did talk about the possibility of this happening beforehand with the vestiges. All Might says that he sensed that Deku passed One For All to Shigaraki, so Tomura must have understood Deku's intentions. Deku says that he did, but he still has the One For All embers inside of him. It's at this moment that Bakugo opens the door and is completely shocked. Upon discovering that Deku still has his quirk, Bakugo remembers them as children holding the All Might card and several other moments from their past, like the bullying in their second fight. Bakugo then starts crying and Deku can't believe his eyes. Whoa, so Izuku still has Embers of One For All? Which I guess means that he could still be a hero. I'll go more into my full review as well, because
it's not even possible.
The possibilities of this. And Bakugo straight up crying to Izuku here. This isn't the first time Bakugo's cried. He's cried at least once. At the end of their second fight that he's mentioning here, when All Might came in to intervene. I don't know, maybe he cried again after that. But this is definitely the first time that he's crying like towards Izuku, because he's just letting out all that pent-up emotion that he's had for like years. Bakugo says that he's reflecting on everything he's done to Izuku, and that he still wants to continue competing with him for a long time. All Might says that the two of them have become stronger, and that they have changed a lot since the day he met them. Deku became his greatest hero the moment that he ran, but now he's also the greatest hero to everyone else. And Bakugo saved All Might's life, thus allowing him to say all these things to them now. The two of them are the greatest heroes, and All Might thanks them both. Narrator Deku says that when he was a child, he thought that the world automatically returned to a state of peace when the war ended. However, their story isn't over yet. We see Shoto facing back, and some things that look like shells, and a pensive Ochako. They still need to create their bright future, and they need to go beyond. The last page shows Deku, Ida, and Kaminari in their school uniform walking towards UA, which is being rebuilt. Chapter 424, Epilogue. So this is what I was talking about. And this can't be the last chapter. If it is, obviously everybody's going to be upset with that. But, no announcement or anything, and it seemingly is going to have another chapter next week. So I don't think this is the end. But maybe it's just the epilogue of the war, or it's beginning of the epilogue. Like, this is leading us into the last few chapters. Because, they say just right here that they need to go beyond. They still need to create their bright future. So we have to at least see some finales with the characters, even if it's just one panel each.
All right, that's enough. Wow. I definitely like this chapter. I really do. And seeing the point that, Bakugo's getting his emotions out from Deku and crying, that's crazy. The one thing I really don't get is, he said something before that Deku still feels has the embers of One For All. I thought One For All died, being the point of he gave away all his power to Shigaraki, even though he lost danger since the beginning when he was going toe-to-toe with them, even though before, Shigaraki was stronger. So, does he still have One For All? I think at this point it's been confirmed that he still does. Even though he's totally bruised, but still, he'll heal eventually. And yeah, I want to agree with you, man. This doesn't feel like the final chapter for me, because I don't feel it right now. Because if Horikoshi like confirms it, then I'll probably totally be upset too, because that cannot happen. Because we still gotta find out what's going to happen next, and I feel like it's going to be more to it. So I don't know what my predictions might be. So either my prediction is, if I had to guess, they're probably going to still wait for UA to be revealed, or if it does get revealed, they're going to go back into their schooly daily lives. So yeah. Or maybe they're just going to get a celebration reunion. A celebration for all the people that put their trust in Deku, and then he's going to get a hero's welcome and stuff. It could be that. That's probably be my prediction, but still, as far as this chapter, I can't say it's the final one. But I think the next one might be. If I'm right. Or if I'm wrong, hey, who's to say I'm not the smart one here? But until then, it's a great chapter. I love it. Now the heroes can actually settle, heal up, and try and find a way to, get back on their toes again. So, even though Bakugo's really bruised up, but still, he has to go do surgery and stuff. So, yeah. I'm still happy they actually won this war. The battle's over. The League of Villains are totally gone. So now, everyone can live in peace and harmony. Good for them. Alright, guys. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, of course, make sure that you guys subscribe and post more notifications so you won't miss a thing. Alright, see ya.